Hello, my name is Thomas Wah. I'm the Director of Bar Operations here at the Pool Lounge at the Seagram's building. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the cocktails that we feature here. We always wanted to keep the spirit of this building and its design and architecture. We just wanted to modernize it a bit. Alright, so let's get into some cocktails. We're going to make two cocktails for you today. We're going to do the cinnamon cocktail off of our menu and the mango. So let's start with the cinnamon. So you're going to want to use a mixing glass. Any type of glass will work, and a jigger. Basically, this cocktail is a riff on a classic old-fashioned cocktail, but instead of using bourbon or rye or American whiskey, like you'd see classically, we're going to use Anejo tequila. In this case, I'm going to use two different Anejo tequilas. You don't need to use two at home, but I like blending the two together because the Don Julio 1942 gives a lot of vanilla spice notes, and the Ocho Anejo gives you a little bit more of that earthy agave flavor that you get from 100% agave tequila. So I'm just going to pour 1 ounce of each of the tequilas. And then our little secret weapon here, instead of just using a straight sugar or sugar syrup, is I make a cinnamon bark syrup. And this cinnamon bark syrup is basically just take cinnamon. A nice Mexican cinnamon or Vietnamese cinnamon is great, but you can always just use cinnamon sticks at home. You're going to crush them up a little bit, put them in a pan with equal parts sugar and water, and bring it to a boil, let it sit overnight, and you have a really nice cinnamon syrup. Now it's about a teaspoon of cinnamon syrup, but you can always use more or less depending on how sweet you like your cocktails. And then last but not least, you're going to a couple dashes of Angostura bitters, and then we're going to add ice. You're going to take a nice long mixing spoon, you're going to stir it up. You don't want to stir it too much, just enough to dilute it a little bit, chill it down a little bit, because keep in mind, we're going to put this on ice. Now we use fancy cubes here at the Pool Lounge, but regular ice from your freezer at home will do. So just pour over the ice, and then we're going to garnish with a nice long grapefruit twist. You can use a potato peeler to get a nice twist like this, and a piece of fresh cinnamon cocktail. All right, and now on to our second cocktail, the mango. All of the cocktails on our menu here are named after the primary ingredient, and so I like to spend some time really thinking about how I'm going to best use that main ingredient, and in this case, the main ingredient is mango. I first start with Japanese whiskey. This is the Nikka coffee grain. It is a corn-based whiskey, and it has a very much like a bourbon flavor to it. So I got 2 ounces of Japanese whiskey, which I find works very well with the mango. We're going to use mango puree. You can find mango puree at any high-end grocery store. We got a full ounce of mango puree. If you can't find mango puree near you, if you can find ripe mangoes, just go ahead and skin them and put them in a blender and blend it up and make your own puree. Maybe add a little bit of sugar to taste. Then we're going to use a vanilla syrup as a sweetener here. It's a half of an ounce. You can find vanilla syrup in certain specialty shops, but it's actually very easy to make yourself at home. You just take a vanilla pod, slice it up, add it to a pot with equal parts sugar and water, and bring that to a boil, and you have vanilla syrup. Half of an ounce of fresh lime juice, and half of an ounce of Aperol, which is a bitter that gives it a nice orange fruitiness and offsets the sweetness with a little bit of bitterness. I'm gonna go ahead and add ice. Now, we here at the Pool Lounge use crushed ice. I understand a lot of you may not have access to crushed ice at home, but you can just use regular ice in a rocks glass and that would be just fine. So, seal our shakers, give it a good shake. Now here's the beauty, is the garnish. At the Pool Lounge here, we focus a lot on our garnishes, and this one is a mango segment that we cut long ways down, and then with a sharp knife, you just want to cut slits in the mango. Be careful not to go all the way through the mango, and then cut it again this way, so that when you open it up, you have a really beautiful sort of checkered design. And we're going to go right in like that. And there you have the mango. All right, those are our cocktails for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you ever want more cocktails, we're always here at the Pool Lounge.